Assalamu alaikum. I'm Muhammad Ali. I'm a partner and an architect at ORAD. Today we'll be discussing 5 fundamental points for any interior space, be it commercial or hospitality. Number one would be the first impression. The first impression or the welcome area usually impacts how the guests perceive the space. This usually includes the entrance lobby, the main display window, and in some cases, slightly a part of facade as well. Number two would be functionality and comfort. Zoning plays a key role in any interior space. The design can't be just aesthetically appealing, it has to be practical as well. There has to be a critical focus on both operations and guest comfort as well. With restaurants, it has to be a balance between the both. It has to be aesthetically designed and it has to be very practical to ensure a smooth service and a good dining experience. For retail, it has to be curated in the three zones: the welcome area, the display area, and the main cash till or the changing rooms. With ergonomic seating and well designed interior space to make sure you handle both the guest comfort and the smooth service. Krusty's innovation is a very good example of a practical design. It's designed to basically provoke your sensory reaction. Once you're in the vicinity, you can see and you can feel the space, the smell of the baking, and then you can see it getting made in front of you. The whole cafe is designed on this idea to bring in or to bring in the user directly in and let them experience what's happening in a cafe. Similarly, Aurum, I'll say, is very unique in terms of its design. You can see it from outside, it's very welcoming, and the tables are very uniquely designed. The layout is very different from the conventional cafes or restaurants that we do. But having said that, they are very practical as well. Everything is balanced and curated in a way that it blends in or it weaves together to create that experience. Number three would be lighting. Lighting plays a key role in mood building. You can highlight spaces, you can darken them up, you can do any kind of a mood building with accent, ambient, or focus light. For example, if you go to Tiger Temple, we have deliberately have done focus lights on the table. It dims the ambience. It creates a very eclectic sort of a dining experience. In MN, it's on a contrast very different. It's a cafe, and the lights, it has to be bright, upbeat, and a very welcoming sort of a cafe. So it caters different age groups, so the lighting is very bright and vibrant. If you talk about Aurum, lighting is done in a way, there's a conceptual lighting with those globes that we have installed, which act like, a man-made clouds. And then there is this streak of light which is running through the space. So all of these things, all of these lights, they combine together and then they give life to the space. If I talk about Flow has a very different lighting in terms of interior. There's a natural daylight that we have taken during the day. It comes in indirectly, and then we have these focal lights which highlight certain parts of the space. Overall, it highlights the whole space and creates a very cozy interior. Number four would be the theme. A good theme or a narrative is like a soul of the space. It helps the space to resonate better with the guest and makes the experience memorable and unique. It also develops a strong connection with the brand or its personality. For example, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is a modern take on the conventional dhaba restaurant or a cafe. It has that vibe. It has like a modernized, vibe of like a frozen time. There's a wall with pictures from the 70s, and old music that's being played to add to the vibe of the space. The lights are curated in a way to remind you of the 60s or 70s industrial age. And then the furniture complements to our traditional carving woodwork. So collectively, the whole space comes together to present a narrative that, it's your own local cafe. It's a Pakistani cuisine. It's a place where we celebrate Pakistani cuisine. Cosmetica is an aesthetic clinic that we have recently completed. The narrative behind the space or the concept behind the design was to create a space which complements the brand itself. It's a very practically designed interior in a very tight semicircular space where we had to incorporate the practical functions aesthetically. So what we did was we created a very flowy space and we carved out these spaces within that building which not just work practically well, they also makes them look relatively bigger because they're curated in a way where we didn't make any 90-degree angles in the public area. And the more gradually you move towards the clinics or the procedure rooms, they start to get to shape up and become more practical as well. So the public area where you're waiting and reception comes, it's very flowy, it's very dynamically designed, and the more you go towards the procedure rooms and the operation theaters, they start to become more practical. And the overall theme is kept with soft curved edges, so it creates a very calming and a very welcoming interior. Along with we have added a galaxy light as well, so that also complements with the interior space. Number 5 would be the material and the finishes. Commercial hospitality spaces both have high footfall, so the material has to be durable. At least for any commercial or hospitality space, the materials have to be durable for at least 3 years, क्योंकि हर इंटीरियर की एक लाइफ होती है, मतलब इतना एक मटेरियल या एक इंटीरियर स्पेस को लास्ट करना चाहिए. Having said that, thoughtful finishes and use of material adds value to the interior space. The contrast between the matte and the reflective surfaces is very important, and we can achieve that through various available materials. As you can see in our various projects, that we have been true to the theme and we have kept the palette as per the requirement of the brand or the interior, and that not just makes the interior very welcoming, it helps the space resonate better with the brand. Coca-Cola, I mentioned Coca-Cola की एक अपनी एक vibe है. You can see the floors are patterned, the walls are textured, and then the ceiling it's raw. So similarly, Infinity की मैं अगर बात करूँ, it's a very monochrome space where we appreciate the user itself because it's a beauty salon, it's a spa. So the main highlight is the user itself, that once you're ready, you're the theme or you're the highlight of the space. So similarly, Aurum has a very unique palette. It has like hand poured floors. To it we have textured or fluted wall paneling along with those reflective golden mirrors. The whole thing comes together and it complements the design.